Alright, so this is where we want to get to. This is step one. We need to mark out for the housing joint, and then we mark out for the finger joint. So you want to set it up as a book match. So a book match is both of the sides here are going to be the same. So when you put the sides up together, both of the finger joints are going to be at one end, both of the housing joints are going to be at the other end. So we're going to start with our two blank pieces with the ruler. On one piece, we're going to measure in 20 from the edge. And we're going to measure in 20 from the other edge. We're going to line that up with our other piece. Feel down the edge to make sure that the pieces are flush with each other with your finger. And then we're going to put the square on to the line. And we're going to scribe that right through. Hold the two pieces tightly, so you know it's not going to come unstuck. They're both still flush with each other right through. Okay, so we've got two lines on each piece. The next step is to get the thickness of our material. We need our finger joint thickness and our housing joint thickness. So what we do there is we take our end piece and we put it onto the line on the inside. So the top is lined up with the line and the bottom is lined up with the line. Be as accurate as you can. And you just scribe the other side and you get a good spacing, which is around 12.5 millimeters. And we'll do that for the other side. We'll do that to the other end. Line up the top, line up the bottom. Alright. So now we've got our book match, we've got our housing joins and our finger joins, so we need to identify which end is which. Okay, so this end here I'm going to make the housing joint, so I'm going to mark it. The other end are my finger joints, so I'm going to mark those. Now we need to mark out for the finger joint. Alright, so we're just going to take one piece. We need to measure down 20 and up 20. Now don't make the mistake of measuring down 20 from the groove. We need to measure down 20 millimeters from the top of the actual piece. So get your ruler, line it up with 20 and a little pencil mark there. Turn it around, line it up with our pencil mark there. Now let's put the same marks on the finger joint on the other piece. Note how I'm measuring down from the top of the piece, not from the groove. Get the square. We want the square in this position. If you tried to put the square at this end, it's not going to land on the timber right. It's going to be wonky and you're not going to have an accurate line. So you want the square, you want as much square on as much of the timber as possible. So you can see there, it's just a lot more stable than how it would have been if you're coming in from the edge. So here we have our finger joint marked out. So we're going to mark our waist. So we just put some 45-degree lines, which demonstrates that is the material that we're going to remove. I'll do that again on the other finger joint. Again, mark our waist. So we have our book match, our two finger joints, and if we run our finger, that's flush, the lines should line up. For the other side, for our housing joint, we're going to remove all of this material here, but we also need to know how deep we're going to go. So we're going to get the square and we're going to transfer those marks down the bottom. Now we know it's the bottom because it's the opposite end of the groove. The groove is the top because that's where the lid slides in. So at the bottom is the furthest point away from the groove. We are taking out two layers of plywood. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of plywood. We're taking out those first two. So hold your pencil and just scribe that like that. So when we go to chisel out, we know we're not going any deeper than our pencil line. And then along the face, we're just going to identify our waist. Now, don't take this top piece here out. We're only taking from the groove down. I'll do that again so you can all see it. We're going to transfer that mark down. Second layer, 1, 2. Little scribe so we know not to go too deep, and mark our waist. So we're not going to go any further than that. And there, guys, we have marked out for our housing joint and we have marked out for our finger joint. And you have a nice book match set. So that's step 1.